Hey, Sean Mathis here. I'm the curator and founder of the Through Time Automotive Museum in Toccoa, Georgia. You may have heard the story about how the museum got started because of my pop's 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, but I actually own one more vehicle, which is this 1974 Yamaha DT360. Now this DT360 has its own unique story. Not quite the same as my pop's 59, but it's pretty neat, and it's also a family heirloom. Except this one started on my wife's side. This bike originally belonged to my wife, Tori. This was her mom's motorcycle that she had while she was in California in the Sierra Mountains. I saw this DT360 sitting out side, becoming just a piece of scrap metal. It had been season after season getting covered in snow and bearing all the elements there are that can completely ruin these bikes. But maybe in a car, motorcycle guy, automotive in general, I had to have this. Not that I could do a whole lot with it. In fact, it took a whole lot of years to actually be able to do anything with this. I carried this bike around for 8-9 years. I tore it down pretty quick. Put the tank down to bare metal, rebuilt the carburetor, rebuilt the motor, but never really got the whole thing back together until just recently, actually since the Through Time Automotive Museum opened. This bike is one of the newest additions to the museum. The bike is a one-off, not another one like this in the world. It is a 1974 Yamaha DT360, which is a two-stroke motorcycle, enduro, which means it's got the ability to go off-road and on-road. This is not typically a bike that a whole lot of people will do anything to. In fact, the DT360 is kind of a sought-after bike for what it is in an original condition. This bike, I did not have the means to take back to all original, nor am I that kind of a guy. So with that being said, I do like cafe racers, rat bikes, and all kinds of different bikes that are customized, one-off, nothing else like it. When you're on this bike, that is the only one like that. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this bike. My original concept was a Mad Max type style bike where the tank would be exposed metal and it was kind of rough looking, but kind of cafe looking. You'd be able to ride it just like that. However, it went a little bit farther than that with now the monoshock rear end. It's probably the biggest thing that sets this thing apart now, as it is guaranteed the only monoshock DT360 in the world. Plus it's got integrated taillights, LED taillights in the back of the frame. It's got the Clubman handlebars, LED blacked out headlight. The wheels, the rims themselves, those are original, and then just put a newer tire on that wheel. And then the tanks are like a military green. And then the motor itself has been completely blacked out. But really what I wanted to do was just give this bike the love I felt that it deserved. With no intention of ever having it into a museum like this, I wanted to go ride the bike. But now with it being such a unique bike, I think it's pretty neat that it's on display here so people can see the potential of what one of these bikes could look like. And you can still kind of see what the bike pretty much was back in its day. So come into the museum, check this motorcycle out, see the other vehicles we have on display, and let me know what you think.